So, Jemer, who is our guest this week on the Scrambled YEGs podcast?
Oh, hey, Alex. It's Natasha Prasad, who also goes by
Raani.
a very talented local musician. Very talented.
R-A-N-N.
Nope.
R-A-A-N-I. I don't know why I keep thinking it's a double N.
You know it's a double sum.
Yeah.
She's a very talented musician, very funny person.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
What did we talk to her about, though?
Aliens, mostly.
Aliens. That did come up now that I think about it. Also, music videos. She just released a music video.
Yeah. And we also talked about magic tricks.
Magic tricks, of course. Alex, is technology aliens?
We talk about that in the podcast.
We talked about it.
Listen to find out.
Very true. I also recount a harrowing tale of a haircut I once had.
Yeah, and we recount some heroin tales.
Ooh,
so
that's true.
it's a good podcast.
It is. It is. You know who's not good?
The Calgary Flames?
Yeah, they suck.
Oh, they're so brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, bad team, bad fans probably.
Yeah, I think it's important for all Edmonton podcasts to begin by making fun of Calgary.
Yeah, you know how in Corner Gas when they say that one town's name, everyone in unison goes and they spit on the ground. I don't know what town it is, but it's the next town over. That's the vibe we're trying to put out here.
Nice. I'm glad that I host a podcast with Corner Gas's fan.
That's a reference. That's our CanCon for the entire time that we're a podcast. We've mentioned a Canadian artist or a
Also, this episode features a little bit of accidental product placement. There's
accidental
an old Tim Hortons bag the whole time.
Well, if you're listening to this, you can find it on YouTube and see for yourself. That's how we prove that we're good down-home Canadians.
That's awesome. It was literally an accident. That's the best part.
They were good donuts.
They were. Thanks, Raani, for the donut.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into this podcast. This is another weird thing that I was thinking about.
The director unsuccessfully argued in court that the excrement was actually chocolate ice cream.
Oh, yeah, you know way too much about me.
If they had cat videos, they'd probably have more horns.
Somebody listening right now is offended and turned off Scrambled Egg.
That's the hill I will die on.
I respect it.
That escalated quickly, though.
By the way, it's called Scrambled YEGs.
It's like my bender week. I just keep tapping the card and I just don't think about it. I don't deal with it till after it's done.
Nice. Are you involved in any shows?
I have been in the past. I did a sold out run in 2014 of a show called Rat Wives when I was just out of university.
Rat Wives?
Yeah, it was so weird. It was set in like the Victorian. It was so weird. It was a comedy and we had to wear like the Victorian dresses and like hair and makeup was a bitch for that show like every night. And yeah, I don't know how it sold out, but it did. So I was like,
that's sick. How'd you end up in that?
I had just finished university, and then the director was someone I had done a show with a couple years prior. So he asked me if I would come on board for it. And
right. So are you an actress as well?
I am, yeah.
Oh, I just knew about the single that is on the internet called Chains, available now.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Hopefully.
That's cool. So your background's like acting?
Yeah, I grew up performing earlier than songwriting and putting out my own music. So I started performing when I was like 6. I grew up dancing. Okay. And then I went to university. I went to the theater arts program at McEwen here.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Were you raised in Edmonton too?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Born and raised here, yeah.
Yes, we love Edmonton people on the podcast.
There's talented people in the city.
There really is. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, we're trying to find all of them.
We're not going to stop till we found them all.
You did good, starting with the Fringe. That's like raw talent.
You're gonna say starting with me.
No,
the first 15 episodes were whatever, but you nailed it.
Power.
you're welcome. And you're a hip hop artist, right?
I am. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're on Spotify, and
Yeah.
okay, I have to check that out.
The Valley City on Spotify and all the places you can find her music.
And you're a comedian.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's what I've been doing. Also available on Spotify. Look at that. We're all on Spotify.
Yeah.
Brought to you by all of us.
I hate that Spotify switched to like you can only shuffle stuff if you
don't get Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah. have you noticed that you can only shuffle if you like don't pay for premium?
Oh.
And so now my album is ridiculous because it's like so it doesn't make any sense because you have to listen to it in order. So you like I'll make callbacks to like random stuff that you're like, what?
Oh man, I've never got Spotify. I've always been on the Apple side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so powerful. Like even for grant applications and stuff, they'll ask you like, how many streams do you have on Spotify? And I've always been like, why just Spotify?
Really?
Yeah, so you kind of have to use it and learn it. And
I wonder if that's because of like their subscription model, where to actually like listen to a song over and over again, you probably have to.
Oh, maybe it's probably the best gauge because of that. So they know like how many people are actually willing.
Maybe Apple's full of shit.
maybe.
Apple's inflating numbers.
The Spotify is crazy too because you can go on the back end and see like who's listening, when, what country, and it's like, oh my god, it's
Just
kind of
creeping
creepy.
on
Yeah.
Yo,
I think mine's broken.
There's no one
stuck on
listening.
zero?
No.
It's like when your gas gauge is empty and you're tapping it, you're like, this can't be right.
It's got to be a mistake.
I'm meaning to ask them about that. Is that your first music that you released?
No, I released an EP in 2014. That was like my debut release. And then I did a single in 2016. And then I just released this single in July.
That's sweet. How
Yeah.
so when did you switch from acting to music more seriously?
This project I launched in 2014. And then I kind of take theater contracts when I really love a script or I love the director or the cast. And then I was with an agency for about 5 years in Calgary. So I don't know. I love both of them. And it's always been kind of confusing juggling them. But I think I'm finding that I meant to pursue both and they both complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very spiritual, and I meant to pursue both. Was
Yes.
Is that like your astrological sign told you to do both, or what?
Neither of us
No.
can say anything that convincingly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'm like,
I love my job.
yeah. I don't know if
No, that's fine.
I don't know if I'm meant to do comedy, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I also do comedy, and so I've noticed that too. That the two, like the two different types of performance end up kind of complementing each other.
Totally. I love comedy too. That's my favorite genre to do acting wise.
Yeah.
And I love slapstick.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the best. I think it is I think it's coming back, but for a while it feels like slapstick got a bad rep. Everyone was just like, oh, it's stupid. Like Gallagher's dumb. It's like, no, exploding a watermelon with a hammer is awesome.
It's awesome. I fell in love with Chaplin. I discovered Chaplin, and then I went through this phase where I was watching everything, and that was just like a light bulb moment to me. It was like, whoa, that's acting. It changed my life. He's still my acting idol. But those guys like Buster Keaton and Chaplin, they're like stunt performers, like all the stuff that they did.
Yeah,
And
those
they have to be
pratfalls.
crazy strong to do that.
Yeah, pratfalls are not easy on your body, man.
Yeah, Buster Keaton was crazy though. Like watching him and knowing that he was doing all that. Have you seen?
No, I know like
like-
of him, but same with Chaplin. I've never actually watched. I don't think I've ever watched like a Chaplin anything. I just know that he has a funny hat and a Hitler mustache.
Yeah, he played.
It's a Chaplin mustache.
He played Hitler in a movie, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty phenomenal. He was more whimsical, but Buster Keaton was like insane with his stunt work. Like it's scary to watch him. You're like, what is the matter with you? It's like, stop. But amazing. Some of the
crazy.
best
Stop,
actors.
but
Yeah, it's entertaining, but it's, oh my God.
Don't, but do it. It's like Evel Knievel, man. I get stressed watching stuff like that.
Me too.
Like stuntmen, yeah. Like I remember watching Chris Angel when I was a kid, and like the breath holding stuff, and like he's like pulling a car by his nipples or whatever weird shit that he did.
That's pretty weird.
Did you ever see that? He did like these weird feats of strength. There was one where he like was like hung from a helicopter like Jesus by his skin. Like he like put. It was super gross.
Hey, did you
That
see that I
is
can
so
do
weird.
that? Like, yeah, I don't want to see it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Your talents, keep them.
There's got to be a better way to make money. Like, that's crazy.
Get a job, Chris.
Can you just go back to making cards stick in windows, please?
I grew up watching Chris Angel, Mind Freak.
Yeah, when he do his little floating thing.
Yeah.
Continuous shot.
I
feel like he's magic though.
you feel like he's magic.
I believe that.
Television magic.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
I saw him in Vegas when I was there. That was cool. Like just doing like street magic.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It was like to promote his like show at the Luxor. He
Still
was
cool,
like,
man.
I'm doing street magic at 11 a.m. in this exact spot. It's like, oh, well, okay.
Still cool.
Yeah.
Still cool.
That is
pretty
pretty
sweet.
cool.
He did the card. That's like my favorite trick. The card that gets stuck in the window. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
He throws it at a window and it gets stuck in the pane of glass.
He like
shit.
gets someone to like sign their name on it, and
Yeah.
like so. There was another. I saw a magician in Calgary or no Vancouver. I was visiting my grandparents, and I was like 11, and I was the volunteer who had. So one of the things was me and my aunt had 5 cards, and then he asked my aunt to pick a number, and then he asked me to pick me or her. And so she picked like 2, and I said her, and then he made 2 cards go from my pocket into her pocket.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? Like he gave us each 5 cards and then put them in, like I put them in my pocket, and then she put hers in her pocket, and then he was like, wham, wham. And then she pulled out 7 and I had 3. And I was like, what? And then, yeah, I wrote my name on a card and then folded it in half and then gave it to him, and he put it in a deck and he threw it, and there was like this glass ceiling above us. He threw the deck of cards, and then my card was like in the glass ceiling, and then the rest of the cards like floated back down.
Oh, damn.
And I was just like, what?
Magic's real.
I know. You can't movie
Based on
magic
this
that.
anecdotal evidence.
Yeah. But like it's weird because I know that he like it was a trick somehow. I know, but I can't figure it out.
That's the trick.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. How do they?
I don't know. Mind freak, baby.
Magical.
I want to see him float.
You want to see?
I want to see the continuous shot with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Just go
'Cause that was
underneath
his
him.
big thing.
Yeah.
Look at
That's-
the camera, like, okay, you stay on me. We're gonna keep this one shot, and then he floats, and you're like,
I don't know.
I know.
let's do.
Yeah.
One day we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And wasn't David Blaine? Wasn't his thing like?
He made the Eiffel Tower disappear, didn't
And
he?
he did the car, like he would make. Oh no, that's
Oh yeah, David Copperfield. Was
It
the
wasn't.
one.
I
David
saw
Blaine,
him in
but
Vegas.
Wasn't for a while like some of those guys like exposing some of the tricks.
Yeah.
I think that was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There was a Netflix thing called like A Magician's Secret or something, and the dude did like he was in witness protection, like he was all like shadowed, and like his voice was modified. It's like, this man's voice is modified so that the community won't get mad at him for outing the magician's secrets.
Whoa.
And this guy like explained the tricks, and I hated it. I watched like
And now
one
he's dead.
episode.
They made him disappear.
I watched like one episode, and it was all like stupid. It was like, oh, the lady in the box, there's actually just another lady in the box, and then they like hide the top half of one lady and the bottom half of the other lady and split them. And it's like, oh.
Aw.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, you just use 2 contortionists, and
That's
they're like,
how.
yeah.
That's how bad magicians do it.
Yeah,
Good magicians really do it.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree.
That would be a terrible show.
They put like an audience member in. And
I don't know, plants, man.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Let's go to a magic show.
Yeah.
The 3 of us. Let's go to a magic show.
I would need to see it in person. Otherwise, I don't believe it.
Have you ever been to a magic show?
I saw Copperfield in Vegas. So he did the
Really?
car illusion where he made the car disappear. And then I used to do magic shows
Really?
when I was little and make my family sit. My cousin and I,
Nice.
when we would make them sit and we would do magic. And it was pretty bad.
What
So
was your go-to trick?
ooh, we got for Christmas this book of magic tricks. So it was like a whole kit. and you would do all this like it was like weird stuff. Like you would have a card, and then you would make the cards disappear. We had so many tricks, you guys. I don't even remember. What we did.
That's awesome.
But it was mostly the fact that there was a tablecloth on top of this little table,
Yeah.
right? And then you would like put stuff under there and then pull it out and be like, "You guys, it's magic."
Look at this. I feel like being a magician would just be so disappointing.
Yeah.
Because your whole life you'd be like, I'm just lying to these people.
I think it's Pete Holmes has a bit about like, I'm not sure if it's Pete Holmes, but some comic has a bit about how it sucks for magicians because no one has like a normal reaction to anything they do. Like you tell a joke and people are laughing, clap, or whatever, and you do some magic and people are like,
Freaking out.
and you just wish there was like a sound for it. Just like just a scream.
It's funny. Did your family ever react? Did anyone in your family ever try and like out your tricks? Was there like
Yeah,
a
my
mean
brother.
uncle?
My
Of course.
brother.
Brothers.
There was this one trick where it was like a paper wand, but it would be like you would have like the actual wand, but then you would have this paper one and you would crumple it up and throw it away. So it's like, oh, how is it not like solid or whatever messed up? And then he would like run to where we would throw it and be like, you guys.
Older or younger?
Older.
Of course.
Terrible.
Older
Jealous of your
brothers.
tricks.
Jealous of my magic.
As an older brother, if one of my siblings was cool at magic, I would.
You'd be like,
I'd either
nuh-uh.
get better than them, or I would steal their stuff.
Just
Nope. That
read
wasn't
the
my card.
book.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what my brother would do. I'd be like, "Is this your card?" And then he'd be like, "Nope," even if it was. That is 100% what my brother would have done.
Oh, siblings.
Do you have a lot of siblings, or just the older brother?
I have an older brother named Sean and a younger sister named Saisha.
Nice.
Why did Sean get the boring name?
I know, Sean, Natasha, and then they got really creative and they were like, Saisha. This beautiful name. Yeah.
That's
You
fun.
have a brother?
Yeah, just an older brother.
Nice.
He's a
I'm the
dick.
oldest. I have a brother and a sister.
Nice.
Nice.
So if either of them was good at magic. My neighbor was actually a magician for a while. He performed at like a few birthday parties at my house.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
That's up there.
He knew his stuff. His name was Shiv. Hey, Shiv.
Hey, Shiv.
Shout out to Shiv. Way to
Was
go.
He was also the go-to street hockey goaltender. Sometimes it's hard to find a goalie.
Really talented.
Yeah.
So many talents.
Multifaceted.
Wow.
Also, the biggest Tupac conspiracy theorist I had met and have met to this day. I think
Wow.
eventually he sort of came to peace with the fact that maybe all of those clues weren't clues.
Yeah.
But it would be like midnight and he would knock on my door and be like, "Man, they released like a 20-second clip."
Oh, wow.
And I would be like, "Okay."
Whoa.
That's
Go
so
home.
Shit was a cool guy. There's a whole bunch of things about him.
He's got a lot going on. I bet he's super successful now.
He's just a goaltender.
Living his best life.
He's finding Bigfoot, actually. He's a Bigfoot hunter. I love conspiracy theories. They're my favorite. Do you have any conspiracy theories that you subscribe to?
I don't think so. I
None?
haven't really looked into
Do you
many.
think aliens are real?
Yes.
Do you think they're here?
I don't know about that one. But I do think that there is more life out there for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And we're gonna find it.
I was
Not
getting-
me. The smart
the
people.
three of us.
Someone.
The NASA
Three of us
people.
After the magic show. We'll take a stroll through the galaxy.
It sounds like you just want to get really high on acid with us.
You can do anything.
Well, I was getting a haircut recently, and
Bragger.
not that recently, but like it was a white lady, like a middle-aged white lady, and right away it was like, uh-oh. And she started talking about how like it's a tough time to be a white person and all this stuff. And she had scissors, so I was just like, but she had this whole thing about aliens too, and she was like, aliens are already here
Oh, she's big into
Wow.
Alex Jones, hey?
in our technology.
What?
Yeah.
There's-
She's like, everyone's glued to their phones. That's how the aliens have infiltrated us.
They're influencing us
Yeah.
to always be on our phones, addicted to it.
Uh-huh.
And then they're collecting the data.
Yeah. And they don't know what they're going to use it for yet.
Oh.
There's privacy concerns and they know it.
Yo, speaking of privacy concerns, did we talk about this on the last one, the Jewel store?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's weird. Apparently at the I don't jewel.
I also don't jewel. My roommate jewels. Do you jewel?
I do
Are you a
not.
big vapor?
No.
None of us are vapors.
No.
But they're like the main company,
Yeah.
and lots of kids use their product because it tastes like candy.
Bubblegum.
And so I think a lot of places have gone and just banned the flavored stuff, and they just opened up a store on White Ave.
Oh,
And apparently,
no.
to buy a product, you have to have your ID. You have to give them a phone number. They text you. You give them a code, and like all
Yeah,
of this
you have to
weird
like
stuff.
confirm on your phone, like text them back confirming that it's you making the purchase right now. So you have to give them your phone number, and when you walk in, they take a photo of the front and the back of your ID on like a little phone device.
In order to buy a vape?
Yeah,
Or
it's a long way to go to
anything,
kill yourself.
anything in there. My roommate, I went in with him to buy his charger broke.
Yeah.
And he went to buy a vape charger, and they're like, I wasn't even buying anything, and they took pictures of both of our IDs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then I know as soon as it happened, I was like, I should have just waited outside.
Big brother, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they're just targeting this one company?
They're
order
the
to-
big one.
No,
Oh.
it's the company. It's like their store, like the Jewel store
Oh.
does
But
it.
like people are dying from vaping now.
I read
So,
about that. There was
now
the
all of a
first
sudden
case.
They're concerned, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder why kids are doing so much of it."
Yeah.
And it's because they're basically aiming at kids by making it delicious. Apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
think
it was like
they've
a-
apologized for that, but after making all of their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is the plan to make it taste like shit now, or
I
just
think so.
keep going?
Yeah, it should taste like bad breath.
Yeah.
It should taste like smoker's breath.
Worse.
Ew.
It should be horrific.
Yeah.
It should be like a shot of the grossest liquor,
Ugh.
where you take it and you're like,
Just
"Oh my
Russian
God."
Prince vodka.
But then it's
Yeah.
gonna be so
You're
fun.
like, I hope I can keep this down. That should be vaping.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so
It was disconcerting to me. I'm not a vapor, but when they like exhale, there's like a huge cloud of smoke, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's like worse than cigarettes, and
Yeah.
like that can't be right.
What that does to the old ozone.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And I love when
It
people
smells like cotton candy now. There's a few holes, but it
That'll
smells and
attract the
tastes
aliens.
actually
delicious. Aliens are like, what the fuck?
that's
check
the
it out.
technology they're using. It's the endorphins of the aliens is in vaping.
Oh man, yeah.
It's
As you vape, you slowly become an alien. But they didn't get the mixture right just yet, so the first few people, their lungs popped up and they died.
Aw.
Pretty soon,
So sad.
you're gonna turn into your eyes are gonna get. Well, I don't even know if they look like that.
Evolution.
Yeah, I don't know what aliens look like, but if they look like the traditional ones, your eyes will start to get like that, and then if you keep vaping,
I feel
Yeah,
like
full alien.
like they're gonna be like advanced humanoids. That's what I just like smarter and not destroying their own planet and like
Yeah.
killing themselves.
That'd be. I'd actually prefer if they were that. If they were not destroying their own planet, they just like came here. They're like, "Hey guys, here's how you don't destroy your planet. Just
Yeah.
take this technology
Yes.
from us."
unfortunately, you've already destroyed it.
What
But
is
on your next planet, you should.
try again?
On your next planet, but we don't. Like, oh, you guys don't.
Oh, see ya.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe they do exist and they like can get here, but they've just been watching us. Like, yo, I don't think we should go over there.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I think like, are we in The Sims?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Have you ever heard the theory behind? There's like an actual scientific theory behind it.
Really?
Yeah, like a simulation theory.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just making shit up.
No, yeah,
No, it's a thing.
yeah. It's
Lots
kind of
of people
like
think we might be. I
Yeah.
don't know.
it's kind of what the movie The Matrix is based on. But basically, the
Oh,
idea is like we already have simulations in which like most of our senses can like recognize. So once we get to the point where we can make simulations that like we can actually like touch and like texture and stuff, that like we'll be able to create a simulation of reality that thinks that it is reality. And so it's like if we're that close to doing this, the probability that we're the first ones to do it is actually pretty low. So we're actually already in one of those.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Super weird.
Do you ever get to find out?
I mean, when you die, probably.
High score.
That's when you get all the secrets. Do you know who? I can't remember what her name is, but she's a robot, but she's really really human. Like
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, and she was made a citizen of. Was it South?
Oh, she got made a citizen?
She was made a citizen in a Middle East country. I think that lady's scary.
Ooh, the last thing I heard, I'm thinking of the same one, was the one who said that she would keep people in her people zoo.
I think it's the same lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she's quite pleasant, but then she said some really scary things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
And like all of those, like I think like Boston Dynamic or something, they keep showing these robots that they've made that can like open doors and shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I saw that.
I don't think we need robots that can open doors. That's like our best defense.
I like the vacuum one.
What's that?
The vacuum one's good.
The Roomba, yeah.
Love it. Like
Yeah.
We should have stopped there.
Let's stop. Yeah.
What information is it collecting?
I bet you it is collecting
what kind of
stuff too.
crumbs you leave?
Send it all back to the mothership. You'd be like, all right, some of them are really dirty. Some of them can't afford a Roomba. Some of them are dirty, some of them are poor. All right, let's move on. I wonder if they look at us or if they came here, then they'd be like, oof,
I think so.
yikes.
I think so. I think they're like further ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they got to us,
I guess.
That's true.
we
Yeah.
haven't
that's
got to
true.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like us stumbling upon like people from the 30s or something. We're like, look at you, dirty motherfucker.
Dumbasses.
See, I
Yeah.
How did
dumb
you even live?
Yeah.
idiots.
What's your phone number? 3? Like,
That's funny. Nate Bargatze has a super funny joke about that. He's like, I think that if I went back in time, I would be worse off, because he's like, I don't know how to explain any of this stuff. He's like, I'd be like, this is a cell phone. They'd be like, how does that work? He'd be like, satellites. They're like, what's that? He's like, I shouldn't have said anything actually. It's like,
tell us everything. I'm like,
I don't know
I
where
don't
to
know, man.
start.
If you have enough money, you can buy one.
like, why don't you start by telling me what you have?
There's aliens in there. They're collecting the data.
Yeah, we
Be
think
careful.
Someone at Tommy Gun said might be an alien in there.
A lady with the I need to speak to the manager haircut told me that there's aliens in it.
Who I was hoping wasn't giving me one of those haircuts.
That sounds like one hell of a haircut.
It was
Sounds like an experience.
when she handed me off to the cashier. She was like, "Well, that's enough of my racism for today." And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
What?
Wow.
Like, I don't even know. Some of that was so racist that I must not have even heard it.
You think aliens are a race?
I don't know, man. Here is what I've learned.
Be careful.
But that guy from Blink 182
Is an alien.
apparently has like footage of UFOs and stuff. The Tom DeLonge. We might have even talked about this on our last podcast with Zachary Red. But he's got like a foundation that's like looking for UFOs and stuff.
Dude, that's awesome.
And there's some unexplained footage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of like flying saucer type stuff.
Yep.
That's
Unidentified
crazy.
objects that like Air Force pilots were like, what the fuck is that?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have
That
you
is crazy.
seen the documentary, the Netflix one?
No.
Have you seen the Netflix alien documentary?
No.
Oh my goodness. There's this dude, he went on Rogan too. And he basically was like, yeah, I was employed by Area 51. And when you start watching it, you're like, okay, this dude is crazy. But then you start, the thing that like really convinced me that he might be telling the truth was that the government is basically trying to like erase information about him. And so their argument to try and like discredit him was like, he never worked at this, because he worked at like a physics lab before he got moved to Area 51. So he got like hand selected to go to Area 51. And then they were like, no, this guy's lying. He never worked there. Like, there's no record of him, blah, blah, blah. But then they found like an old employee sign-in book, and he signed in like every day. And then there's a newspaper clipping of him because he made like a rocket car in his backyard, and he like, it was street legal, so he drove it to work. And so there's like this newspaper article about how he drives his car to this lab every day to go to work. And like the government's like, he never worked at that lab. And then he's like, yeah, I did. And they're like,
Rocket car, bro.
That's crazy. And
Yeah.
he's a smart dude. He's a physicist.
yeah.
Okay, so he wasn't just like some guy off the street. You know,
Yeah.
like,
And he also like
aliens.
hates talking about it.
oh my god.
He like really he doesn't like talking about it because he's like, I don't know, dude, like it's fucked up and like it's weird and
no
I
one
don't.
ever asks how I'm doing. They just want to know about the aliens.
Nobody cares about me.
I'm actually a painter, but you guys wouldn't know that. It's all vaguely alien stuff.
I do extraterrestrial watercolors.
But what kind of stuff did he have? Like,
Well,
what kind of?
so that's the other thing is like he talks about, he's like, it's so compartmentalized that like I didn't really, he's like, because they don't want anyone to be able to release anything. So he's like, I can only tell you what they let me do. And he's like, all they let me do was deal with like the generator. And he's like, I saw it fly one time. And then like the way that it kind of works from what we understand is that it makes like it's really weird. It basically like moves, it's like an anti-gravity thing. So it like moves space out of the way and then like replaces. So yeah.
Whoa.
So instead of like propelling itself, the way he describes it, he's like, imagine if you put a bowling ball on your mattress and then you put your fist down in the middle of the mattress and the bowling ball would roll towards it. He's like, it does that with like matter. It like moves matter. So it just like rolls itself. So you can basically just like aim it at like over there and it'll move all the matter out of the way and it just goes pew, like instant like travel to wherever the fuck, because there's no space between it and whatever you're aiming at now because it like moved the space out of the way.
And they saw that here
In
somewhere.
Area 51.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's fucking
Whoa.
crazy.
You guys, I haven't done alien talk in years.
I know.
I'm
It's
convinced.
I was just gonna say this is a very alien heavy podcast.
Yeah.
But like, if you guys are listening,
They are
Some
we're speaking
crazy
into
shit.
microphones.
man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now everyone's got those speakers in their those Alexas and stuff. everywhere.
Those scare me.
Yeah, I don't like
I
them.
want to resist getting one of those for as long as possible.
A high-ranking guy in Google actually today, at some conference, people were like, should you like let people like know that you have these speakers in your house because like they are kind of listening?
Yeah.
And he said like, I would definitely let people know, and everyone else in the company wasn't expecting him to say that. And I think, but basically like, yeah, they're all listening, so
Yeah.
you should definitely tell people.
Yeah.
Those are scary things.
Yeah.
I feel like some technology, things like social media and stuff, it's kind of, you can resist it, but you kind of need it.
Yeah,
Eventually it becomes
absolutely.
necessary. Cell
Especially
phones.
us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to promote and you're trying to do
Exactly.
things and create a presence, and
You need
if you
it
don't have social media, it's like,
to be competitive. But that thing, I'm like, I will resist you
Yeah.
for as
Yeah,
long
I
as
don't
possible.
want
You scary.
My ex
scary
had one
lady.
in the house and it would just like, it was sitting like on the TV stand, like under the TV, and it would just like light up every once in a while. I'd be like, Alexa, fuck off. Like, stop.
fucking off.
People reported to it would just start laughing. Yeah, just out of nowhere. Scary stuff.
Yeah. I did an interesting experiment this last couple weeks. I was getting annoyed because I like paying attention to the elections, like when they're going on. I try and stay out of politics for like most of the time, but once it's election season, I'm like, all right, let's do as much research as I can so I can be an educated voter.
Yep.
And everything I
Responsible
saw,
guy, eh?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
yeah,
I'm so
Only a couple
responsible too.
responsible people. Me as well. Three responsible chums talking
Yeah.
politics.
but everything I saw was just like, it was like this horrible echo chamber where like,
Oh yeah.
I was just like, is anyone voting differently than me? Like, I can't. So I just started going to the opposite party of who I'm interested in and hitting the love button on like all of their posts on Facebook, like the love emotion. Now my feed is just full of their shit.
Yeah.
I just tricked the algorithm. I was like, I want to see what the other side is up to. So I just started like love. Now every time their leader goes live on Facebook, I just hit love a bunch.
That's scary stuff too. I was
seeing the other side.
I was scrolling through
And it's
Instagram
scary.
once, and it was a sponsored post, an ad for something that had my name on it. It was like what products that you could personalize, and I was it's just getting so creepy. Those aliens
No,
Yeah.
going too far,
crafty aliens.
I think.
I think they need to get better at their targeted advertising.
Yeah, it's a little too on the nose there.
Yeah, I think they could be a little more suggestive. Just like, hey, what about some shoes, Jim?
Yeah.
Shoes. They probably, if they were smart, they'd put a button where you could say, I already bought this thing. Stop fucking showing it to me.
Yes, please. Yeah.
That'd
be great.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Or like, I only looked this up once because I didn't want to talk about it.
No, I'm just bringing it up. That's personal.
I was asking for a friend. Goddamn Google.
Alexa's like, you asked 25 times.
They're all for friends. It's like, here's your contact list. End of contact list. You weren't asking for a friend.
That's funny. Yo, someone posted another thing that I saw the other day. They just like screen capped like part of the like privacy agreement or whatever, and it said like by like accepting, you are giving Google access to your contact emails and their contact lists. So it's like, even if I don't give you consent, you gave them consent to get my shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm your contact. It's like, what? How?
Yeah, it's getting out of
But if
hand.
you don't accept the terms and conditions of stuff, you don't get to use it.
And
Like,
who has
we
time
need
to
stuff.
read them? It's just too much.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose.
I know.
Yeah.
They're crafty.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Bury them in rules. These illiterate assholes aren't going to read a thing. It's Instagram, goddammit.
They just want memes.
Mark Zuckerberg, probably an alien. He looks like he's probably an alien.
I'm
He's
with
the-
you
you
on
know?
that.
He's at the helm of all this technology that has everyone fully just zoned in on.
That dude's getting scary.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah. Like, and then he wants to make his own money.
Yeah,
Libra.
or something.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that was a group of Libras came out against it because they're like, this doesn't stand for like what our astrology is. And I'm like,
Oh no.
everybody's mad.
Now he needs a new name.
Yeah.
And they have like a dating site on there, I think. Or
Yeah, they're getting
Facebook
into
dating.
They have that already.
that. Yeah.
They've got the marketplace.
They're taking over.
And they also have Instagram.
They bought it.
And-
Yep.
yeah,
They
yeah.
tried to buy Snapchat.
Did they?
Yeah. And they, I don't know who's.
The valuation of those companies is always funny. It's like, oh, it's worth like 10 billion. It's like, why? They're like, I don't fucking filters.
Filters?
People are using it.
Because people
People
like
are
it.
loving
They don't
it.
have a way to make money off it yet, but it's worth 10 billion
Ads.
dollars?
Ads, man. It's all about
Yep.
advertising dollars.
Yep.
Yeah, but like the Snapchats and stuff, for a long time they were like, they're worth this. Like even like Twitter, what's it worth?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to say because it's like not really.
Yeah.
It's not a moneymaker.
It's all
So
ads,
if-
man.
if-
It's all
Twitter's
ad revenue.
powerful,
If
though.
you were to buy it wouldn't be it wouldn't make you money.
Yeah.
It's weird. And like Snapchat. Oh, that hairdresser from before.
Yeah.
I tried to make a joke.
I want to
like,
meet this lady.
Yeah. Well, Kingsway Mall.
All right.
Oh, man. Tommy Guns in Kingsway. You
Listen.
really went
My
out
next
there, hey?
haircut.
The thing about it is, I don't know. I wanted a haircut, and there wasn't a lineup.
That's the way to
So,
do
I
it.
was
Should have gone to Great Clips, man.
Well, I think Tommy Guns is probably higher than like Supercuts.
I guess.
I feel like Supercuts wouldn't care, right? And I want like a little bit of care, but I don't want to go to a fancier place because then they take like twice the time trying to show that they care.
They try to massage you and stuff.
Or they're
It's like
well,
weird.
instead
Cut
of
my
the
hair.
razor, I'm gonna cut every little just you just gone in this man. Like, what?
Yeah.
I was in there for like an hour and a half one time. My hair. I'm like, dude, I'm not impressed, Chad. But this shit. So I was trying to make a joke to break the racial tension that was building between us.
Apparently.
And I was like, oh, she said something about facial recognition technology.
Yeah.
Aliens. And I was like, well, we can thank white chicks for that, because white chicks and filters just they sort of made that their thing. And she took the conversation in an unexpected direction. After that, she said, nope, white women only make up 10% of the population. And I was like,
What?
please don't draw something on the back of my head.
What?
That was the most uncomfortable. I was sweating. Like, I'm about to be taken hostage, baby. I don't know.
Wait, can we just end the haircut? This actually looks good how you have it right now.
This is fine.
Love it.
Like, no, I didn't ask for the skinhead thing, actually.
Good
This is so weird. And I do think white chicks, helped spur that on. They helped facial recognition technology a lot with the dog ears and all that shit. That got those companies a lot of information about what white chicks look like.
What?
I'm not following you.
White women are the champions of filters on the Snapchats and the Instagrams.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
And I think
I use them a lot.
yeah, but
I
they
like
were the
them.
champion of them at the beginning.
True.
They made them popular.
Yeah.
And all the information that those companies glean from people, like the facial recognition technology is getting better because people are using these stupid filters
Yep.
and doing like the age shit.
I like the age one.
And then one day, facial recognition technology is going to end us all.
I hope
Somehow, when the aliens have gotten all the information they need,
Yeah.
Once they've gotten all of our faces.
Yeah.
that's it.
They get all their measurements and they're like, nah, never mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Onwards. Not worth it.
Oh. Well, let's change the direction of this. This has gotten weird. Guys, let's do
I've
the
learned a
weirdest
lot.
segue ever. Speaking of
Aliens?
no. I was
Your
gonna say
music is also
haircuts.
very real.
Tommy guns.
I was gonna say like haircuts and makeup and stuff. Because I watched your music video.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it took a lot of effort and time and like
Music
costume
videos.
change and
Yeah. Music videos, I think, is the hardest part and most expensive. And the producing a music video, there's so many parts that need to come into play.
how long does it take?
To produce, I mean, however long you have, like, you just have to kind of make it happen. I've yet to do a music video where I'm not completely sleep deprived and food deprived, and I'm just like
It's crazy.
functioning properly in front of the camera. It's hard working behind the camera and in front of the camera, but I think in today's world with technology, with social media, having the visual is
Yeah, huge.
next to essential. Yeah.
Like, how long did Chains take you? Like, how?
To film?
Yeah, well, just to
Oh, it was
do.
It was quite a process. We wrote it in 2016. I wrote with Troy Sampson and Taya Petrovic in Vancouver. And then from there, it was just getting funding. So applying for grants, not getting grants, and then figuring out, okay, how am I going to fund this? And I've done really rushed ones before where I didn't really have the money for marketing. So you're like, oh, well, I'll just put it up and see what happens. But then from experience, I was like, I feel like I'm shortchanging myself.
Yeah.
So so this time I was like, I'm not going to release until I have funding to actually market it and do something with it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did that. I ended up working like a full-time office job sort of thing, which was brutal, but that's how I was able to fund the music video and everything. So it took a couple years.
Jeez.
But this was kind of an experiment for me to be like, when you do it with the marketing dollars and take your time and go through that whole process, what's the result?
Yeah.
And then from here,
It was good. You're happy with it?
I think so. I think it's definitely worth it. I hope this release gives me the momentum to get grant money in the future so that I'm not paying out of pocket completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely better than just investing a couple thousand and then putting it up on the internet and hoping for the best. Yeah.
My mom liked it.
Yeah. And you're like messaging all your family members like,
Yeah.
you better like it.
Like it. Watch it on silent while you
Comment on it.
Yeah, put it on repeat, go to bed.
Yes.
Does it help to get like when you have like a polished product, does it help to then get future grants? Is that kind of what they're looking for?
I
in some cases?
think so. That was important to me. Is like I want to put out a product that's as polished, as good as I can get it to be, so that it creates a product that's worth them funding in the future. Like this is what I'm capable of. I think it's really
I can
awesome.
do on my own. So if you give me some
Yeah.
help, like look,
It'll
what I
get
can do.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long was the actual filming of it and like recording?
We had one day because each day costs so much money to rent any venue, right? And so I looked at multiple theaters in the city, and this one was only like $500 a day.
No.
But
Where'd
then
you film it?
We filmed it at Concordia University in their theater.
Okay, nice.
And they were super accommodating, super nice. But yeah, it was because if I took another day, that's another $500.
yeah.
So we had to get it done fast.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Stressful?
Yeah.
Nah, it was relaxing.
It was pretty stressful. Like by the time I get in front of the camera, I'm so exhausted that I'm just like, you're moving around, but there's not really much brain function happening. You're like, I don't know what's happening. I hope we get something good and we can put it together and look decent.
Just rolling through the motions.
Totally. Like I don't like have time yet to think about like movement or choreography or anything, but that's the next step, is to keep growing as a producer and even like getting even better with the timeline, so that by the time you get there.
And did you do all the choreography yourself? Like, are you a singer, actor, dancer, performer,
Well,
producer, filmer?
that one was like winging it, totally winging
Really?
it. Oh yeah,
Holy shit, it's really good.
winging it and
Winging it.
hoping for the best. But I went to the theater arts program. It's like a triple threat program. So I trained in musical theater. So I have some dance experience. And
That's
stuff
crazy.
like that. So yeah, thanks. Shout out to theater arts movement class for getting me through that video.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it common for an artist to be doing so much on both sides of the camera?
I think at this level, yeah, until you can hire. But that's again on me to get better with my planning, so that I can hire like an event planner, someone to co-produce with me. But I love it, like, because it's so stressful and crazy, but then when you finish it, it's like, okay, now I know I can do that. So now let's, for the next one, what can I accomplish even more, like get better at it.
Yeah. Well, the last guest that we had on, the Zachary Red Band, he'd mentioned that he basically does everything himself as well, and like when he plays live he has a band, but when he does his tracks he likes doing like the piano himself and the bass and the drum and like doing everything himself, because he wants to have like his vision done like filtered through just him, so that he knows it's going to be the thing that he wants it to be.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way with the music video in any way, that you're like, well, at least this is like all my vision? You don't have like a producer being like, let's try it over here instead.
Well, you definitely, like, you have the director, and because of my acting background, I kind of run my music with that experience and knowledge. So we had the director, and we also had Russ Dawson, who was the assistant director. So it was us collaborating and then coming up with the vision. So I think one thing that I can work on to create less stress for myself is actually to surrender a bit more and not to be so like having this specific vision. It needs to be done right this way. It's like learning to let go
It's a skill.
a bit. Yeah.
It takes a lot, I think. In most situations, to actually give up a bit. Okay, I trust you to take care of this important thing for me.
Yeah, that costs so much money,
Like,
and it has your
hiring a
name on it.
babysitter.
Yeah, with your kids. Yeah. You're putting a lot of trust and faith
You
and
are.
money in them. And so, but they were a great team. I really lucked out. I had a phenomenal team.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's probably an important lesson, just like in life too. Just being able to, I know it's hard, like for everything, like even from whatever, making a music video to just like planning a vacation, where you're like, okay, maybe I should listen to other people's opinions as well in this, and it doesn't have to go exactly my way all the time.
Totally. And I think
mean,
you
that's one
learn.
way to live.
Yeah.
Are you that way with your music at all? Like, do you have anyone who like helps write or do anything, or are you just like, I'm writing, producing, creating, like singing, doing all of it?
I think when I first started out, I bought Ableton and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be like Stevie Wonder and I'm just going to do it all. And then I started trying to work with Ableton and I was
What
like,
is
oh
Ableton?
my God. That's one of the DAWs. Like some people use Cubase, Ableton. These are all like music production.
I don't know what any of those words mean. What's a DAWs?
Oh, like I don't know what it is. Audio work platform. That's where the programs that they use to make music.
Oh, okay. Like on.
What is it called? What does DAW stand for again?
Like
Digital Audio Workstation?
something. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
just like a computer program that has like the drum and the bass and the guitar all
Yeah,
like
yeah,
built
yeah.
into it and
What
stuff.
are you guys
GarageBand
using?
right
Oh,
there,
GarageBand. Yeah, GarageBand's great. GarageBand's super intuitive.
But it's similar. That's basically it.
Oh, okay.
And you'd have instruments potentially plugged into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Music fascinates me so. I'm so like ignorant to how music works. Like I have no idea how anything happens in music.
Me neither, mostly. it's like,
We're all just winging it.
yeah, I'm hoping for the best.
I know.
So are you performing a lot at the moment?
No, not really. I did a release party in July for the single, and then I moved out to Vancouver recently, so I'm kind of getting settled there right now.
Okay.
And then I kind of have to find my feet and start again a bit. But
That's fun.
yeah,
So are you bouncing back and forth between Edmonton and Vancouver right now?
yeah, I'm doing a lot of that right now. I still have so many connections in Edmonton, and I love the city so much. But I'm
Yeah.
just kind of I want to try different places out and just see how I feel. So I was in Toronto for a couple months last year. And then I was curious about Vancouver, so now I'm gonna feel that out.
Nice. I hate
See what it's like.
Vancouver.
You hate
I
Vancouver?
can't stand that place.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's expensive and
It's so
everyone
expensive.
is arrogant, I found. And I also think it might, and I've said this, I'm like, I feel like it's kind of the way I look. It's just like,
What?
I don't know. I just like,
It's a safe space here. You can tell me this.
yeah. No, I always walk around with like baseball caps and football jerseys on, and everyone there is like super artsy. So I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? And they're just like, I'm going to recital. Okay. They're not, I
man.
feel like they look down on blue collar people. And my family lives there. My grandparents and my aunts and my brother and my mom all live there, and they all love it. I'm like, this city stinks like dirty ocean water, and everyone's rude.
No
I don't
way.
like it.
I'm kind of oblivious. I don't know. I've heard that though. I've heard people are pretentious there.
Yeah.
And
And I
stuff like
went
that.
to Toronto in September, and I was expecting the same thing, but Toronto, I feels like they were just didn't care as much. Like they didn't care enough to talk down to you.
Yeah,
They were just like, whatever.
busy. Too
Yeah.
busy for you.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a better vibe. So
I love Toronto. Toronto was great.
yeah, I really like Toronto a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much
Big
to
fan.
do.
Vancouver, not so much.
I've only been to Vancouver once, so I can't really say.
Really? Only once? That's
Yeah.
crazy. What did you do out there?
My brother and I went for a weekend,
Yeah.
and I think he was there for a conference, and I just tagged along.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It's good. It's good if you're into nature,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like hiking. There's so much to do with
At
the
time,
ocean.
the
and-
Canucks that was the Boston year. I
Oh,
think where they, so there was a lot of
nice.
Canucks fans that were really annoying to be around.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, it was nice.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the one thing. It is unbelievable that you can literally go to the beach
Oh.
and then go
Ski.
hike the mountains literally the same day. Go snowboarding and surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
How many times have you been there?
Yeah, a bunch. My grandparents and my two aunts have lived there since before I was born. So we'd go visit them usually once a year, once every couple
Were
years.
the people always looking down on you from
Yeah,
when you were a child?
well, my aunts lived in Surrey, so they got
Surrey's
looked
crazy.
down on by the people in Vancouver for being in Surrey,
Oh, jeez.
and then it was just I just never liked it.
Oh man.
Just never really liked it.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, you'll
I
be
hear.
fine.
Stay away from East Hastings.
Yeah, stay away from East Hastings and
Crazy.
Surrey. Also, stay away from Surrey.
Surrey, yeah, Surrey. There are some crazy news stories that come out of there. My friend and I, we went to university together here in the theater arts program. So we were going to Fringe a couple weeks ago in Vancouver, and I was totally telling her about East Hastings because one cousin lives like a block away, but she really likes it. She's been there for a couple years. We were all hesitant when she moved. She loves it, and she was like, "You just acknowledge people, like be a nice person," and she's been fine. But I was telling my friend about this, and then we got off the bus to go to the show, and it dropped us off right in East Hastings, like the crazy part. And then we're walking, and then it's crazy. It's just people are sitting, and the street is just lined with people openly shooting up. And I was like, Jessica, I think we're here right now. It was like, we were like, oh dear God.
If it's worse than this, oh my God.
It was a crazy experience walking through there, but again, like we just kind of kept our heads down and stuff. It was fine, but it's a crazy scene.
It is. I stumbled there by accident once because I feel like Gastown or something. There's like some nice, preppy bars like a block away, and me and my brother like, I'm like, oh,
whoa, this is different.
They're trying to like clean it up. So that's my cousin lives in a new apartment. It's like a regentrified area or something, but then the rent is low because it's right so next close to East Hastings. But she lives in a beautiful apartment and stuff. But it's been interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it's more sad than anything.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
It really is.
Screw these people. It's
yeah, like, that's like...
Whether it's, people gripped by addiction and like, that can't be a fun existence.
I saw it for the first time a couple years ago, and it was so sad. A family friend drove through there. She like wanted to show it to me. And then I started reading about it and watching like videos and stuff. And it was saying like the problem is so bad in East Hastings that it's not about helping these people with addiction anymore. It's just about like containing it to the area.
It's like just keeping it in East Hastings, be like, please just don't fuck up everything around it.
Yeah, just like don't go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so like it's so tragic and it just sucks that like that place has to exist.
The disparity between like this block and this block.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Right? Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's literally like it's fucking the Hunger Games where you're literally sitting in like multi-million-dollar high rises, like spitting out your window on heroin addicts.
Yeah,
like
you can see a sea of.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like there's a lot like tent cities have been a big thing in the last several years. Like they keep finding them in the river valley
and then kicking them out.
Yeah, it's sad because like they're taking their stuff away. Sometimes they seem to take it away when they're not there and stuff. But I think they were able to transfer a lot of them into supportive housing and stuff in Edmonton. But though, like the tent city thing is just that's also so sad.
Yeah.
Place like
and over here, it's like how do you survive? Even because over there you can survive the winter, but over here, I mean,
minus 40.
You
like
can't
in a
even
tent?
live.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's so it sucks so much, and like just like that's another thing that I don't like about Vancouver is just like the wage disparity is so crazy. Like the wealth disparity there is insane.
I know. Cost of living is crazy, and then minimum wage sucks compared to ours.
Yeah,
compared to ours, it's 12 something.
Oh man.
But then there might be lowering ours, right?
Yeah. Well. Yes.
And then gas when I left was $1.57.
Gas is insane.
And that was in Burnaby, not downtown Vancouver.
Yeah. That's where my brother lives in Burnaby, and he always sends me Snapchats.
I know.
78 at Costco.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
$1.60.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I was that took me a couple weeks. I was just like, and every time we passed a gas station, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And my BC family was like, oh my God, shut up.
But look at it.
I know.
It was also weird because, I was there in August for my aunt's birthday. And it was really weird because we started in Abbotsford. I landed in Abbotsford, and then we went to Surrey, and then we went to Langley where my grandparents live, and then me and my mom went into Vancouver. And it was like the fluctuation of price was crazy. Just like you'd go from like one municipality to the other, and it would be like 20 cents difference.
Yep.
And the worst part was it was always more expensive in the poorer places.
What?
Like Surrey was more expensive than Abbotsford, and Abbotsford was like less expensive than Vancouver. And it's like what is happening in this place?
Yeah, it's a tough place to live if you don't plan financially.
Yeah.
So Vancouver sucks. I guess. In conclusion.
So to reiterate my thesis, Vancouver sucks.
But enough people seem to be making it there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's so expensive no one can live there.
Yeah.
That's true. People are making it work.
I don't know. Well,
they got more people than we do.
thousands and thousands of apartments sitting empty in downtown Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but they put a lot of taxes on that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin's family were trying to buy a house. Took them like 5 years to get a house, and it wasn't until like some of these taxes came into play where things kind of calmed down that they were able to get a house. And then she called me when I was at work, and she doesn't usually call me like at that time. So I was like, oh my god, I think someone died or something. So I like went to this little tiny office beside me, and she was like, we got a house. And then she was like, it was a steal at like this crazy ass price.
Steal at $2.6 million for a one bedroom.
And I was like, congratulations. And I was like, it was a steal for you. And she was like, yeah, for us. Like, they were so happy. I was like, so happy for them. They finally got a house. But like just watching their struggle to try and get a house out there took
Stuff
years.
just snapped up so quickly.
Yeah, and just the price is ridiculous.
The prices are insane. My brother was having issues. He kept finding, because like they were renting basement suites, and the places that they kept renting, because the market was so insane, the families were like, well, we're selling the house because it's worth, we bought it for 85 grand. It's worth $2 million. So we're selling it. So you can't live here anymore. And so like everyone was just selling the houses, and then they were sitting empty. So he was literally like getting kicked out of his place for it to sit empty.
Yeah.
And it's just like so stupid.
Yeah. It's a weird world.
It's a weird one.
It's
Beautiful
crazy.
though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Scenic.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Ocean.
Yeah. It's the second nicest place in
trees and
Canada.
stuff. Super nice.
Trees
Lots
everywhere.
of cool animals.
I live in like, I feel like I'm in the forest. Like when I'm staying out in Burnaby to start off with. And it's just like you walk out, it's so green. It's so different.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you literally are. It's like the rainforest. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
actual rainforest out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's where my brother lives too, in Burnaby, and it's so nice by his place.
So wait, now are we saying fuck Edmonton?
Never. Never.
Screw Vancouver, but it's really nice in Edmonton. Okay, screw.
I think we're just like giving Vancouver some love after bashing it.
after
I feel
bashing so
bad.
much, there are good things about it. There are some
the
really
Canucks
nice
aren't
stuff.
one of them.
No.
No.
Boo. I mean, they're better than Calgary, but
That's true.
oh, I'm so happy, James Neal.
Aren't regional like rivalries like a stupid thing?
Oh yeah, patriotism is the dumbest thing in the world.
Like, oh, I hate Calgary. Like, why? Like, our hockey teams play each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I
Human
catch
nature,
myself
man.
sometimes, and I'm like, what? It's like, oh, you guys hate Calgary. I'm like, yeah, fuck them, I guess.
Yeah. It's pretty nice down there.
It's a nice city.
I do like Calgary.
A
I don't
little
mind.
Vancouver-y, though. I feel like the
Yeah.
pretentious-y thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Calgary's
They
got
think
that.
they're better than
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
They're
Unless-
not.
They're not, obviously.
But they really like to
We're all
strut
the
around.
There's something in the water down there.
Totally.
It's where all the offices are for the
Yeah.
companies that we all work for. And they're closer to the
And
mountains.
that's what, yeah, I never let a Calgarian claim the mountains. I was like, this shit's an hour away.
That's amazing though. Like
Yeah,
that's
I know.
so
I know.
awesome. I did that
But
for
when they say that they're like, oh, we got the mountains. Like,
we got the mall.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big pirate ship.
Oh yeah.
Put your mountains
What
on
were you
that.
to say though?
Yeah.
You were about to say something about the mountains in Vancouver or in Calgary?
I did that for a summer. I stayed in Calgary because I had some work to do, and then you just like drive 45 minutes.
pretty
You're in
amazing.
Canmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like amazing.
I
Yeah.
want to go. I'm a big snowboarder. I've been snowboarding
Oh,
since
yeah.
I was like 11, and I love it. And like that's the one thing that sucks is like my mountain trips. I have to wake up at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
to go. Whereas like if you live in Calgary, you can literally make a day trip to Banff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So.
So beautiful.
Make an afternoon trip to Banff.
Yeah.
You can make a day trip to a lot of places from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like skiing, snowboarding wise.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that I'm very jealous of them about. But
But Calgary still sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still
Oh,
not
that's
Edmonton,
true.
baby. They ain't got McDavid.
Yeah, maybe if they were more talented as people, they wouldn't have to rely on all that nature and stuff. Chinooks. Okay.
They're doing way worse than us this year, though.
Yeah.
I drove back from Lethbridge a couple weeks ago. I was opening for a comic from Ottawa, and in the morning there was that much snow on my car, and it was
That's
a
crazy.
horrific drive home.
Yeah.
And then we got up past Red Deer, and we're like, oh yeah, fuck Southern Alberta.
Yeah.
They're getting blasted.
First
Yeah.
time anyone was excited to get to Red Deer.
Pretty much.
So much for your Chinooks, Calgary.
Take that. You get Lucic and the snow. Suck on it.
Nice rink. It looks like a saddle. Oh, you guys have a rodeo once a year? Cool. I didn't know you never mentioned it.
You never mentioned it.
All right, Calgary. That's it for now.
Have you ever heard of getting like hatted in or whatever?
No.
They put like big red cowboy hats on famous
Sorry.
people when they come through.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, I missed that. What was
People land in like the Calgary airport. If they're famous, they give them like a big red cowboy hat.
that? Oh,
It's a very weird
yeah.
tradition.
I went to the CCMAs once,
Oh,
Canadian
nice.
country music, with my my entertainment lawyer wanted me to go down, and yeah, that was when they gave me a cowboy hat, and I was like, oh my,
Oh, look at
this is different. I went with it. I was like a cowgirl for a week.
That's
Okay,
fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's not. I can't imagine that being your personality for any other time of your life.
No, not really, but I tried it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. That's the best way to do it. Just roll with
I
it.
did a week of country straight.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was eye opening, and it's pretty cool actually. Like there's that traditional country sound, but I
Yeah.
found some like country R&B type stuff
Yeah.
that I actually still listen to.
Like
So
Lil
it's good.
Nas
Yeah.
X. Like, I said like Lil Nas X.
Oh yeah,
Old Town Road,
that
baby.
guy did well with that.
Yeah.
You did.
Did
Do you think you could sing country if you had to? Like if you went to karaoke night and someone was like,
Yeah.
hit some Shania, would you nail it?
oh yeah, I'd put the hat on and nail it.
That's awesome.
That's the actor in me. Yeah. Need some country? I'll do some country.
You've probably lived here long enough to observe what those people are like.
Yes.
Hey, don't talk
It's-
about my people that way. Love country music.
Whenever I get in an Uber lately, they always put the country station on, and I'm like,
Country's the big thing, though.
one time I was like, do you like country? And he's like, no. I was like, well,
Because you know,
racist, brother.
like the face of popular music is always changing, and we go through phases, and then like back whatever it was like EDM, but then it went to country.
yeah.
I haven't listened to the radio in a while, but like because I'm waiting for the country thing to pass. But
I think there's a lot of like pop country.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
Like, is
that's
it a pop song? Well, it's a pop song sung by like when country songs started having words like badonkadonk in them.
That's like that is a great song, all right? Honky tonk badonkadonk is my jam.
First
All right.
country rap crossover was that 5 seconds of the song.
it's a big
But
thing.
as soon as you hear that in a
Money
country
maker.
song, you're like,
What?
did the badonkadonk leave you?
And your dog?
And your dog, yeah. I bet your car broke down.
There
That's
was
why you have such a good badonkadonk from all the walking.
there was a while where Florida Georgia
That'll make you
line
lose it.
was everywhere.
What?
FGL, Florida Georgia line, they were on like every state because I do listen to country music. I was listening to Kissin' Country, and I was like, I don't really like these guys, and so it would like come on, and I'd change it to like whatever, and then I'd go to like the Bounce, and it would be on. You go to like Hot 107, it was on. You go to like even like Now Radio was playing Florida Georgia line. I was like, what? Why is everyone obsessed with Florida Georgia line? What is happening?
It is the face of pop music. Like it's a big thing. I was shocked too. Like when I was hearing it, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But then it stuck, right?
It was all
cool.
Taylor Swift's fault.
Yeah.
They infiltrated. She's an alien.
She's one of
Sent
them.
to Earth to make country music mainstream.
Yeah.
Because aliens are just playing with us at this point.
That's the big mission of theirs.
They
Really.
really love country.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau blackface, aliens.
Whoa.
Aliens planted. Aliens
I didn't
planted
know what
that
to
story.
say.
Yeah. They're influencing everything.
How the fuck did we go from Taylor Swift as an alien trying to implement country music to Justin Trudeau's black?
Because aliens care about our
Let's not go
election.
there.
Aliens want to make sure that Andrew Scheer gets elected.
Oh my gosh. No.
They're just messing with us.
Okay, look, we're at 1:07 and Jim has clearly
No,
ran out of things to say. So I want to ask one more question because it's been the whole time. I've noticed that your earrings match your ring. Is that a snake thing or is that just you bought them together and it looks nice?
No, I bought them separately. I really like snake jewelry, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of like because it's like when it's a ring, it's just like
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
it. Like,
Well, they're both really nice. And I
Oh,
was like,
thank
these
you.
are sick. So,
Aldo accessories.
right. Well, that was the hard hitting question of the
Thank you.
podcast. So, do you have anything else you want to say? Anything you want to plug? Give us all your stuff so the people can see you.
All
and
my
find
stuff. I haven't done this in a while. Well, thank you guys for having me on the show. This was really fun.
Thanks for coming
Super
on.
chill.
you. We try.
It's awesome. My music's available on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, Apple Music. And yeah, I'd love for you to check it out. Thanks so
How do
much.
they find it? What are they searching? RANNI?
RAANI.
Oh, I was close. Sorry.
Alex.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a double A in there. I know that gets confusing, but it's Raani, RAANI. Check it out.
And is that all your social medias?
Yep, at Raani Music.
Sweet
You can
deal.
find me
Nice.
everywhere.
Cool. Jim, you got anything you want to let the people know?
Follow Yeg Stand Up for all the latest shows in town.
Oh, cool.
And
Nice.
you can follow me at AF Comedian on the socials or go to comedyaf.com. What do I have? If you're in Grand Prairie and you're listening, I'm going to be at the casino on the 30th of October, so check that out.
Woo.
Hope this episode airs before then.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of your lives, people.